And
And then
they
I have
just,
a, oh, sorry, I have a quick question on contact. I have over the last like year and a half have had a lot of contacts, mostly in the dream state, and then also kind of like when I wake up, I'll have these contacts, and they were for a long time actually really terrifying. And then sometime around the spring, they started to shift and become actually like wondrous and incredible. But then I've noticed that there's been like this quietness. I haven't had as many recently. Um, and here and there, but not to the degree it was like happening all the time. And so, yeah, I don't know if you have any insight into that, why it might go through these more intensive phases. I know I have subtle contact all the time, but these really dramatic experiences, and then it just went quiet. And I've been kind of wondering, what's going on.
well, first of all, we can say, we say this all the time, sorry, but it's normal in the sense that we found contact does come in waves because it's often waves of integration. So there's a couple of things we want to talk about here. And one is a repeat of, oh, many workshops and things that we've done in the past, but it has to do with something that we call a quantum map, which represents, it's a way that we've developed to outline what happens as people go on a contact journey. So as they go on a contact journey in their life, they pass through a period or an energy that we call the pain or fear band. So for many people, it might show up as you made the comment, a fearful contact or shocking or uncomfortable kind of contact experiences where you don't really understand what it is. And for a lot of people, that's where they stop on their journey. So they don't go any further because it's frightening. But what's really happening is that, again, it's actually a microcosm of what we were talking about earlier today. That as your energy is raising and you're moving more into those contact frequencies, you have to go through, in a sense, a toxin release. You have to process your fear because it's like baggage that you're carrying and you're trying to step through a very small doorway. You can't get through the doorway with the baggage. It's a crude metaphor, but I'm sure you understand. So then the baggage has to be released in order to move to the higher frequencies. So this period, this pain and fear band, is very, very necessary to start to purge. So your story that you've said says to us that you allowed yourself to go through that anyway. You didn't turn back, so to speak. And you now got to the other side of the pain and fear band. And the other side of the pain and fear band is when more intense contacts start happening. So you also outlined, and shall we say, more intense contacts that are not fearful. You've gone through the fear, so they're more uplifting or revelatory or beautiful, whatever it is for you. But what the story you've told says that you got to that place, and then the intensity waned. So this is very similar to new channels who go through their developmental process with channeling. That at first, it can be very intense integrating the energies. But once you start integrating the energies, then the contact work or the new channeling starts to get less intense. Maybe it starts to get less frequent because you've integrated it, because in a sense, your consciousness doesn't have to force you to pay attention to this, or because there isn't a big energy that needs to be integrated. You've already moved through a lot of that, and now you move to another phase, which is actually more quiet. So do not assume the quiet phase means that they've pulled away,
Mhm.
or it doesn't mean you've closed down. It's actually a good sign that you've integrated that you moved through the healing aspect of it that you needed to move through, and you have integrated the higher energies at the next phase, and now you're in a more quiet and peaceful phase where contacts may come and go, but most likely won't be as often that you have those intense experiences, but it is a sign of your balance with the whole energy. Does